Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 3 vs 3 on Alvarus. Playing for the Forces of Chaos, we've got Ars, we have got Hanaran, and we've got 608. And playing for the Space Marines, we've got Russian Name, we have got Al-Khaldi, and we have got Greater Good. It's been quite a while since we've had a faction war. Believe it or not, for the regular players of Dawn of War Soulstorm, or kind of any really version of Dawn of War, faction wars aren't exactly the most popular thing for people to play. Don't know why, but I quite like watching them, and I know that you guys on the channel and in the comments do quite often make requests for these, so I've got to find them every now and then when I can on the old Dawn of War replay website. But yeah, Chaos Space Marines versus regular Space Marines should be fairly even in the early games. I imagine that we'll be seeing, we've already seen the Chaos Armory for Arse here, which I know is not called Arse, but having a little bit of fun, leave me alone. But yeah, so cultist grenades for you. And, oh right, okay, so just pure cultist grenades all the way down the middle. So no Chaos Lords for these guys at the moment. Also, cheeky heavy bolts of it in the centre, as sometimes you will see some rushes, as it is a very small map. I know I mention this every single time, but yeah, just practically a stone's throw away from each of it. We have seen some early aggression with these scouts moving around, seeing what they're going for. I suppose you don't normally see scouting in a game like Dawn of War, but in this kind of circumstance, it's quite useful. If you know that they're going to go for cultists with grenade launchers, then maybe some early game heavy bolters might be useful. While seeing a Chaos Temple over here, so a cheeky Chaos Lord may also fulfill the ranks for these guys. Chaos Lord versus a Space Marine Force Commander. Practically identical. I think the Chaos Lord does a little bit more damage. The Force Commander's a little bit tankier, and they kind of just even it themselves out. So straight up 1v1, it's very close indeed. Cultists being mowed down by some Space Marines. Got a second squad of Space Marines from Al-Khaldi coming over to support the Greater Good. And in this narrow choke point, there's nowhere for him to really run. The play on this side and the play on this side are a little bit vulnerable to early game pushes. As unlike these guys, they can always run around this little mountain here, but down in the corner, I'm a bit lost for words. Both Heretics on the back lines, low on health.
Yes, my lord.
Got some more Space Marines coming over. And the cultists with their grenade launchers firing on high. Listing post firing on down as well. There's a nice little firing ridge for these guys. I think they're slightly out of range of these Space Marines. And realistically, they're not going to be killing this stuff anytime soon. So rather than wasting the money on having to reinforce some of their dudes, they are just going to fall back. Some scouts coming on over here as well. Completely negates what was going on over in the middle, but the middle is being captured by 608's cultist grenades. Getting some decaps in there as well. So while there's a lot of pressure going on over here, the centre is being given up. Not seeing anyone go for those critical locations at the moment. No, we're not seeing that. Always useful to get these, just because it gives that additional vision for your longer range weapons. Grenade launchers can benefit from it quite a lot, as well as the heavy bolters or Space Marines. Are we seeing any armies for these guys? No, we're just seeing Force Commanders and Tacticals. Oh, we're seeing a quick tier 2 from Russian Name down here. Straight for those Land Speeders. And Land Speeders are quite apt at killing the very squishy cultists. Over here, Greater Good continues to push on over. Machine Pit attempting to be built up. Purple Pizza not yet spinning until those Heretics come back on down, but they are quite low health. There we go, they're going to come and see what they can do. Got to keep these guys at bay, but really struggling is Ars at the moment. Being saved by Hanaran's cultists. Are you going to go for tier 2? You are in tier 2. And I assume it's just the traditional cultist grenade into defilers. And Space Marines, I mean, they can, in tier 2, they can go for their missile launchers. Very flexible are tactical Marines, as their name suggests. But do they want to waste it? Do they want to waste their heavy weapon upgrades for missile launchers? Not entirely sure. Here comes a Land Speeder Tempest, causing some issues. Filer ready to come out from the machine pit. Land Speeder, oh please leave him alone. He's taken too much damage. But there they come, firing down onto the plasma generators. And at the moment, I mean, what's your economy at the moment? It is not good. It's not good at all. He's been able to afford one singular defiler. And that's all he's got. So here he is. Big explosion into the middle of the tacticals. double land speeders though for the missile launchers. I'm going to be sorting out that Defiler. Heretics might have to come over and do some shimming and shaking around him to keep him in good stead, but does not look like they are fancying that kind of danger close engagement. And that Defiler goes down. Sad state of affairs as a Space Marine. Oh, well. Oh, alright, okay, he just gives up. That's a shame. Well, this might be a very short game. Might not be worth putting on the YouTubes, but I suppose if you see it on the YouTube, you'll know it's worth sticking around because something happens. Otherwise, I won't bother recording it. Okay, right, so like I say, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Space Marine's focusing on that dude. And he's gone. But we have got the Defilers. No anti-vehicle stuff with the exception of those land speeders at this present moment in time. It's not the end of the world, as I keep on saying many, many a times. Oh, we've got a little bit of push. Go down on the southern side. Chaos Lord bashing a listing post. So regular land speeder, no flying capabilities on him. As we said, Cult's an absolutely no match for that gun on him. Yeah, 2 best 3, not the end of the world. It's not until the very late of the late games. If one of these Chaos players are able to recapture this stuff, then they'll have an absolutely booming economy, as everyone's only got access to 3 strategic points and 1 relic if their team has deemed them worthy of getting one. But Hanaran could just quite easily just go over here, start capping these. Have plenty of money to throw around. Actually, select a player that's actually playing so we can get some noises in the background. And just 2 Defilers. And these guys are not going to be standing up with him at all. Are there any armories? There are no armories. So that implies to me that you are saving up for something else. Ah, Machine Cult, of course, yes.
The weak fight back.
Although the Space Marines Tier 2 vehicles against Chaos Tier 2 vehicles, don't think that these Space Marines really have much going for them in that kind of matchup. Chaos Space Marines... Oh, to be fair, their Tier 1's good, Tier 2's good, and their Tier 3 is good. Space Marines are a little bit of a shuffle with their heroes, I reckon, to get some stuff on the go. The Librarian with his Smite is quite useful. Force Command with the Orbital Bombardment. Chaplain with his... He's got like a shouting ability that stuns people and slows people down. Hellfire Dreadnought for the southern side. Ah, I suppose Hellfire Dreadnoughts. That's not a bad shout. Get a mass of Dreadnoughts versus a mass of Defilers. They won't do too bad. Defiler's mainstay in this is going to be their artillery. Being able to keep these Space Marines on their backsides. Also, if the cultists keep their grenade launchers, that's a double kind of knockback. It's not terrible. Not terrible at all. Or the Hellfire Dreadnought, much like the Defiler really, is that while it can do damage against infantry and vehicles, it's not specifically designed to do one or the other. The Defiler's got so many options. They've got their autocannon, they've got their artillery, they've got their claws, they've got their flamers, and they've also got crab legs just for styling points. Hellfire Dreadnought being set on flames as the Defilers make a munch on this listing post. The Space Marines just seem to be chilling out, waiting for armories and other bits and bobs to go for them. Tier 2 on the way for Al-Qaeda. You are there still. No Tier 3. I don't think you're in Tier 3. No, you need the little cross on your HQ to signify that. If I am not mistaken. Yeah, plenty of Defilers. And now you're starting capping. Yeah, you're starting capping that stuff as well, so your economy will be swiftly improving. And you guys need to start defending at some point, otherwise it's going to be a 2v2. Some fisticuffs on the side of the chapel. Servitors will come over and repair it though. Do absolutely love this. Players need to do this more. Send a repair person over to keep your vehicles in good stead. They've got no health regen, new vehicles. So need to make sure that they're doing alright. Some Space Marines now for their missile launchers. Double Hellfires. Look at that. Servitor also getting involved in the repair job. They're sending being sent flying, sorry, from those Defilers over on the northern side. Space Marines think they're all that in a bag of chips with their missile launchers, but a Defiler can just punch you in the face. There's an option for them. But it does seem that Al-Khaldi's... I think I've pronounced his name different every single time I've read it. It seems like he's going primarily for missile launchers. The other guys, oh no, you're also going to go for missile launchers. Which I don't know how that's going to work out for you. After all, yes, okay, fair enough. They've got lots of Defilers at the moment. Those missile launches will be amazing. But it's only inevitable that late game Chaos Space Marines will go for their possessed squads and their obliterators, which will not care one iota for those missile launchers. Plenty of cultists still online for 608. Have you gone for your heavy weapons increase? No, you have not. So only 2 grenade launchers apiece for these guys. Horrors just coming on in, setting fire and flame to the economy where they can. Rhino transporting around these Space Marines. There's one Force Commander chases after them in sheer delight. Triple Defilers knocking around. Chaos Lord standing in the middle, observing the scenes. The scouts come over with sniper rifles. Actually, sniper rifles at this stage of the game, normally not the done thing, but if you've got a load of cultists, a terrible idea. And the hover squads are only heavy infantry. They don't have demon armor, surprisingly enough. So it might be fairly good for them. No. Cut back a little bit, just see more stuff. We are seeing the listing post being rebuilt over here. Not quite finished, but one heretic is getting round to it. And while Space Marines have a really strong infantry force, they're kind of lacking a bit. Are you just saving up for bigger and badder things? You've got your orbital relay over here, plasma pistols, bayonet levels 2. Also got a chaplain out as well. I think that's what they're doing. They're waiting for the heavier infantry. Tier 3 on the way for the greater good. I mean, they've got time to kill, haven't they? They've got 3 players. They don't really need to rush forward and kill the Chaos Space Marines at the moment. Because Chaos, they're on borrowed time. They've got a really strong late game. But no matter how strong the late game for the Chaos Space Marines are, 2 versus 3 is quite the mountain to climb. Now going to fall back. Machine pit on the way for these guys. And what kind of economy is going on at the moment? 98 and 60, 50 and 10, and 80 and 60 compared to 110 and 66 and 105 and 50. So yeah, Chaos Space Marines really making use of the space that they have. And all that jazz. Now transport shimming and shaking around the backside. Chaplain and Force Commander now have their plasma pistols. Chaos Lord going to see what we can do. Give the artillery a little bit of vision. Look how accurate these guys are. This poor Force Commander. Hope he's not going to get a kink off. Still there all that time. Ah, nice. Wonderful placement for that orbital bombardment. Can't run away the way that I actually want to. They've got to go around this way. And now we're seeing the first Assault Terminator squad and a regular Terminator squad. Fire and Brimstone still going on the left-hand side. Horror's been isolated over here, but they are... Oh, they were about to take out that Space Marine there. Standing against it. Not enough vehicles really for this Horrors to deal with. I imagine they really want to get towards those buildings. Might have been an idea just to build up a whole bunch of these guys, get Hell Talent, send them over here, then deep strike them somewhere really annoying like here. Take them to Space Marines a while to get back. Might be an idea. I think it was a Hell Talent. Speak of the Devil on the left-hand side. And the infantry for the Chaos Space Marines is more or less kaput now. It's now just Defilers holding the line. Hell Talent has been upgraded with his poison ability. Something's been destroyed over here. Oh, that was just a cancelled machine pit, I imagine. Yeah, Space Marines not ready to hustle with that muscle. More Hell Talons from 608. Vehicle cap increases. And here come the Possessed Marines. Straight away going for that demonic fire research. Will be difficult to shift off these Terminators. Don't mind taking a slap to the chops. Their powerful armour. There's a lot of Space Marine firepower. Just amassing that critical amount. Even with all this artillery, might struggle. In the distance, a Demon Pit has been built up. And a Demon Prince summoning is on the way for 608. Ah, there we go. A deep striking Horror Squad. It won't do much now that the Servitor's in there, but it was We've got the right idea. I suppose a Bloodthirster, when they're able to get those on the go, will be insanely useful. We've seen on the we've seen on the channel before how Bloodthirsters basically kind of, you don't really see them going one-to-one against actual armies. You kind of jump over armies, start slapping down HQs. That's generally what we tend to see with them. Seeing some heavy bolter turrets being placed on the back lines. In case these guys need to fall back. Wouldn't normally recommend it, but in a 2v3 situation, any kind of firepower is good firepower. And those possessed marines are just silly good. Breaking morale more or less straight away. Can't have their morale broken neither. Quite fast. And being able to fire on the move with that kind of accuracy. I mean, what? That's just a squad of like 8 or 9 flamers. Also beautiful. Pink flambe. Scouts feeling the burn there. Now we've got some Chaos Space Marines, heavy bolters. Opening fire when they're good and ready. Still haven't got that heavy weapons increase, which would be absolutely amazing for these guys. Although I wonder if plasma guns would probably be the better shout for them, just because of all the heavy infantry on the field. But again, I mean, it's a longer range, isn't it? And when you're pressed for resources and men, if you can kill things before they can get in range of you, it's not the worst idea. Commander veteran upgrade. All these guys more tactical marines to replace the ones that they lost. And they're doing a really good job. A really, really good job at holding that centre. One thing as well is that if you can hold that centre, then these guys can't... Well, I mean, I suppose you can get flanking manoeuvres in there. But can't really reinforce each other as well as they'd like. Assault Terminators. Preferably you want these guys in the orbital relay. Drop them on top of something for them to bash. Or maybe even have their teleporters up. I mean, them walking towards the enemy is a very slow and cumbersome process. Second squad of possessed marines coming in. Oh, now it's another beautiful orbital strike. Smashing these guys in a crescent moon shape. They're going to move back a smidgen. Just repositioning themselves. Here comes a Rhino transport. Gotta respect the driver there. Just bobbing and weaving between the artillery fire. Do you have anything in you? Oh no, you're just there just to provide vision. Right, okay. Not a bad idea. Oh no, you did have boys in you. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, assault marines. Oh, sorry, assault terminators. And regular terminators in here. And that's going to force the Chaos Space Marines back from the centre. And in a really unusual formation now. It's not like before where the Defilers were supporting these guys and then vice versa. And it's going to now split up a little bit. Terminators struggling to kill anything of significance. All the plasma generators are still online. Quite a few of the tacticals are low on health. Firing line for the Chaos Space Marines, maintaining the centre, forcing the Terminators back. And what a wonderful idea from the Space Marines. They have managed to snag a plasma generator, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to be a massive game changer. Gotta respect the effort, all the same. Obliterators now for Henaran, and also some for 608. Whether they're being spawned. Oh, there we go, they've been spawned over here. Well, the last of the Terminators going down. Barely any damage being done to the Forces of Chaos here. Space Marines with their heavy bolters. And we're all seeing that these Chaos Space Marines are now being infiltrated as well. So these guys have got to have some sort of skull probe on the go. Another Librarian in there as well, a lot more reliable in staying alive. Sometimes you will see the skull probes join a squad and then just die. Because, I mean, how much health do you have? 225. Infantry armor as well. Alright, Chaos Space Marines. It does seem like they keep on trying to get into the centre point here. I'm not sure if that's the way forward. I wonder if maybe, kind of like what the Space Marines did with the Chaos Player, over here. If they try and focus down on this side, where Russian name can't escape, he is going to go for Land Raider. Grey Knights bringing down a big zap. Killing a cultist or two. And I assume, yep, a Land Raider from Greater Good as well. So double Land Raiders. Chaos Space Marines do not have the time to stick around. They're waiting on a few extra bits. Possessed Marines over here. We're all seeing the Land Speeders trying to take out this economy. And that's, I suppose, is the one thing that the Southern Space Marines should have really been focusing on for quite some time. It's making sure that the Chaos players did not expand into their old allies section of the map. There's a big push for the Space Marines, but I don't think they've got the firepower necessary to break through. Not sure where the Possessed Marines are. Constant orbital bombardments. Smack dab on top of the Chaos Space Marines. Couple of Defilers, no more. Actually, there's Terminator still sticking around. Chaos Space Marines attempting to reposition away from that. Here comes Land Raider number 1. Also got a couple of Land Speeder Tempests on the flanks. A couple of shots on those listening posts. They're doing good in the long run if they can keep the economy down. Now here we are, Land Speed on the left, Land Speeder on... Oh, sorry, Land Speeder, Land Raider on the left and right. Not got much support. I mean, they've got a couple of units here, but ideally want them backed up with something. Land Speeder's down here, I assume. Yeah, you've been taken care of. Activating the Machine Spirit, increasing its armor, making it practically invulnerable. Well, for all intents and purposes. Still takes damage, obviously, but nowhere near as much as it normally does. The Obliterator's ideal units for cutting through any kind of heavy vehicle. Death Marines were thinking about going down here, but they're no match against these Land Speeder Tempests. And Land Raider's still in the centre, keeping those guys occupied. Speeders attempting to do what they did before, but they can't detect these Chaos Space Marines. It's a bit like a floating, sitting duck. Land Raider running back home. Servitor looking to give it some repairs. There's the Chaos Predators, armed to the teeth with their twin-linked and regular las cannons. This guy's just here to snipe out all the annoying bits and bobs that the Obliterators and Hovers don't really want to do. These guys want to be focusing on more substantial stuff. But the Predator goes down. Oh, here comes the Bloodthirster. And we're not seeing that Demon Prince, which is interesting. Or if we did, I haven't seen him yet. Here comes the Bloodthirster, and like I said, just jumping straight over everything, completely ignoring them. I imagine, yeah, that HQ, that's exactly why he wants to smack about. And yeah, I mean, what's happened here, Space Marine people? Sitting pretty with your 3 players, but 3 players against 4 ruinous powers. The Dark Gods of Chaos care not for your numbers. But in saying that, Chaplain bashing these Chaos Space Marines. Terminators inside of 608's base. More also being teleported in as well. Bit of a base trade at the moment. Wonder if you could just leave this Bloodthirster to his own devices and bring these guys back, as that's quite a significant fighting force. And at the moment, 608 has nothing left to really repel them. He's got no vehicles at the moment, which is interesting. He's now starting to go for some Defilers. A little bit late. A little bit late indeed. Land Raider over here is getting in the way of these guys falling back. They have managed to snag that entire base. It does seem that the Space Marine player has survived. Probably building a production building somewhere. In fact, have you? Let's have a look. You have built one. Ah, you built one. You built a machine cult over there. Very nice of you. Battle rage is on. Terminators, that will even turn around. Yeah, they are unopposed, more or less. That's a lot of heavy infantry. Fire's now going to come round on the backside. Got a regular Dreadnought, melee variant for punching things. Their attack rate in melee combat is probably pound for pound better DPS against buildings than your Hellfire Dreadnought with their missile launchers. Land Raider's still alive, but very low on health at the moment. Flare Raider squad trying to take him down. Chaos Space Marine's been bonked by the Hammer of the Emperor, carried by these Assault Terminators. And even the Possessed Marines are struggling to keep these guys at bay. Where's the Bloodfest now? He's now in here, continuing that smackaroon around. And I mean, if they can get the... I suppose it's Greater Good that has the Terminators. If it was the... Oh, what is your name? Are they clicking from over here? Yeah. If this was Al-Khaldi's Terminators, and he managed to snipe him out, I've been really useful, but even if you manage to wipe out the game, all these guys are still going to be knocking around. Now the Desecrated Stronghold is being assaulted. 608 losing a significant amount of his stuff. Do you have the economy to rebuild stuff? You do! But is it going to be life-changing? As the Demon... yeah, the Bloodthirster has been sorted out. A fresh Land Raider on the field. It's not looking pretty, boys and girls. Not looking pretty at all. Horrors engaging close combat. Force Commander swiping left and right. Even the Obliterators were engaging in some bargy close combat nonsense. More orbital bombardments. Really fantastic stuff from the Space Marines here. Land Raider struggling to get closer than it is at the moment. Stuck on this Predator. But it does seem like a resounding Space Marine victory here as they drop ship more stuff in. Just say drop pod even. Pardon my heresy. But considering that, the Chaos Space Marines were 2v1 for about 80, 85% of this match, and that they almost blooming won. Not bad going all the same. I mean, like I say, holding that centre, but then going and trying to kill the centre person rather than one of the side people. It's probably what did them in the end. But great unit composition in the form of the Defilers and the Cultists in the early games, transitioning over to the Chaos Space Marines 608. I do also quite like how 608 focused on the infantry, and then, what's your face, where did you go? And then Hanaran then went more vehicle heavy, so they were using teamwork to the best of their ability there. Very unfortunate. And even though this player here, like, he was a bit on the rocks for quite some time in the early game, when he left, there was still potential for him to get back in the game. Wasn't the end of the world, but I suppose him actually leaving and then giving these players here more economy was probably what kept them in the game for the long point. Just an efficient use of their time and money. So, very nice stuff. So, thank you so much, boys and girls, for watching at home. And if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game a week. And there is also Discord, where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. My name's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never short. And I will see you in a bit. Peace.